John Matthews, a seemingly ordinary middle-aged man, lived a quiet life with his wife Claire and her son Liam from a previous marriage. On the outside, they appeared to be a normal family, living in the suburbs, blending into the everyday bustle of life. However, behind the closed doors of their seemingly harmonious home, dark secrets festered that would eventually explode into a shocking tragedy. John had always struggled with his sexuality. He grew up in a conservative town where being gay was considered taboo, so he kept his desires buried deep inside, even marrying Claire to maintain the appearance of a normal life. But his suppressed feelings resurfaced when Liam, now in his early 20s, moved back in after college. Initially, John's attraction to Liam was a secret he managed to keep under control, but over time, it grew more intense and difficult to hide. Liam, unaware of John's hidden desires, was naturally affectionate toward his stepfather. John misinterpreted Liam's friendly gestures, and soon what started as an innocent bond began to blur the lines between fatherly affection and something much darker. One night, after a few drinks, the boundaries finally crumbled. John made a move on Liam, and to his surprise, Liam didn't push him away. Liam, who had been questioning his own sexuality, felt confused but intrigued. Thus began a secret, forbidden affair between the two. For months, John and Liam carried on their affair in secrecy, meeting late at night when Claire was asleep or finding stolen moments when she was out of the house. John felt alive in a way he never had before, though the guilt gnawed at him constantly. Meanwhile, Liam was torn between the thrill of the forbidden relationship and the deep shame he felt for betraying his mother. Neither could bring themselves to end it, though they both knew it was a ticking time bomb. Claire, perceptive as always, began to notice the odd behavior. John had become distant, and Liam seemed nervous whenever she was around. She found herself awake at night, wondering what was wrong, sensing that something was terribly off but unable to put her finger on it. Her suspicions grew stronger until one fateful day she found incriminating messages on John's phone, exposing the affair in undeniable detail. Devastated, Claire confronted John and Liam. What followed was a confrontation filled with raw emotion, accusations, and tears. John tried to explain, but there was no justification that could ease the betrayal Claire felt. Liam, paralyzed by guilt, stood silently as his mother broke down. She stormed out of the house, leaving John and Liam to face the fallout of their actions. That night, the tension in the house reached its peak. John and Liam argued bitterly, both men blaming each other for the catastrophe that had befallen them. As emotions ran high, the argument turned violent. Fueled by anger, shame, and confusion, John lost control. In a fit of blind rage, he grabbed a kitchen knife and attacked Liam. What started as a heated argument ended in a grisly murder as John, overcome by his emotions, stabbed Liam repeatedly. By the time the reality of what he had done set in, it was too late. Liam lay lifeless on the floor, the young man who had once been his stepson and lover now dead by his hand. Blood soaked the room, a horrifying testament to the dark spiral of their relationship. Claire returned home the next morning to find the aftermath of the unspeakable horror. She collapsed in shock, calling the police, her world utterly shattered. John was arrested at the scene, and the once quiet suburban home became the focus of a sensational murder case. In the courtroom, the details of the affair and the brutal killing shocked the public. John's defense hinged on claims of temporary insanity brought on by the overwhelming guilt and emotional turmoil he had experienced. But the jury saw through it, sentencing John to life in prison without parole. Claire, broken and grieving the loss of both her son and husband, left the town to escape the painful memories. The case left a dark scar on the community, serving as a grim reminder of the devastating consequences of secrets, betrayal, and unchecked desires. For Claire, there was no escape from the nightmare that had unfolded in her own home, a tragedy born from love, lust, and murder.